Mohammed Al-Sadoun is an artist and a scholar. Born and raised in southern Iraq, he received a BFA from the University of Baghdad, an MA in art education from the University of Hartford, and a PhD from Ohio State.
Actually, I was born in Iraq and currently live in Monterey, California, where I have this art show at the Pacific Grove Art Center.
I'm Joan Jeffers McCleary, the director of the Pacific Grove Art Center. It's very serious subject matter, very moving. I think it's very timely. It expresses to me strong anti-war sentiments.
I lived most of my life in Baghdad and graduated from 2 art schools in Baghdad. I enjoy Baghdad as a symbol of the Arabic Islamic civilization, not because of the capital of Iraq. Much of the Islamic golden heritage during the Abbasi period create mostly in Baghdad and other Iraqi cities. So the cities had historical significance, cultural, spiritual, and beautiful. Unfortunately, because of its tragic history, Baghdad was destroyed during by Genghis Khan, and a lot of war took place in Baghdad and violence since 1958. And when I went to University of Kufa and I became a professor there, teaching art, Iraq was still peaceful, but there was heavy censorship. It was not too much freedom. It was difficult for us as an artist or writers or intellectual to express our feeling, our ideas. So I decided to leave the country. By 1989, I felt there is a need for me to go out, to live in exile, and I will face the consequences of this.
My name's Jane Fleury, and I'm the first vice president of the Art Center. I think that the main reason that we picked this work was because it really had a powerful feeling to it.
The title is the end or an end of universe. The content, as you can guess from the title, it is not really in a sense of a tragic event. To me, it looks like a short dream featuring an event. During the 80s, at the beginning of Iraq-Iran war, I was in Baghdad, and I was against that war for many reasons, that Iraq and Iran, both Islamic countries, Islamic nations, and the idea also that the artist always should stand against war. The end of the 80s, almost before I left Iraq, in 1989, I was doing painting in downtown Baghdad in my studio, where suddenly the area was shocked. There was a huge explosion, and I ran to escape from the building because the building was about to collapse. And I saw people, Iraqi people, running in all directions. And suddenly we ended up with a huge hall where a couple females, Iraqi females, were crying and people screaming. And it was an Iranian missile hit the area, destroyed houses, killed several people. At this moment, my attention was focused on one door. It was still burning, and I left the scene with anger. Come back at midnight, I still see the door smoking. It was in a sense beautiful, but also tragic. Sometimes I apply mixed media, not only burn, but it could be acrylic, could be another materials. And to me, the found object represent reality. In postmodern art, we should move away from formal approach of art, where we could focus on ideas, concepts. The artist should have responsibility. The idea of the art for the art's sake is gone. It is dead.